All right, we got handicap 2, 6Q. I think I need to set this up, and then I also want to listen to some music.
Right, we got handicap 2, 6Q.
I also want to, yeah, here, let me just get this in first. And there we go. Going to set this up, get some music going and stuff, and then we will get to the actual game. All right, here we go. Here we go. I need to actually hang on. I need to slide this through the whole thing. There we go. Now to get some music going. I think I have my fishing music or something. You know, the thing is, I feel like for if you are a weaker player, like playing Blitz, I actually think. Okay, that's too loud. There we go. Now we'll pop out the main window. So let's pop out chat. Do live chat. I'm gonna waste all my time this way, I know it. But that's fine. I don't have too much problems with chat for the most part. I need to study invasions more myself on how to actually invade. Definitely need to study on how to invade better. Sometimes I just get too pressed, you know, like black screen? Huh? Wait, how is it a black screen? You can't. Is it a black screen for anyone else? That's probably not a good set because you can just invade in here, but we'll see. Probably do need to do this just to invade from that. It's normal? Okay. Okay, that's fine. It's a pretty good moil forming here, so this will challenge me. I think I'm just gonna do this. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna have to do something about that. I think this invasion is good. Actually, maybe not. We'll see. Figured it'd be something like that. Yeah, it's the Go website is probably You're probably on OGS. That's why you were here. It's probably why you came here, because you're on OGS. The black direction's definitely wrong. I probably shouldn't connect this, but I will. I don't know if that was worth it. The black direction is wrong because you know, like you built a lot of moyo over here, and now all this moyo is pretty useless. Whereas like building a moyo over here isn't that useful because I already have all these stones down here. So you're not really using the moyo in the correct way. Like there is, if he plays something like, let's say, N11, that could be problematic, and then come back here. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go this way. Might still be a small problem with this though. Yeah, just essentially getting this particular stone here. This is not big enough for black. It didn't have to do that, but okay. So I'm actually relatively fine with this. So I'm going to just take the corner now. Corner's pretty big. If he doesn't, that's fine. I'll take the bottom. It's a lot of points. There's not that many points here because I can always jump this way. The amount of points you get here is just not going to be that great. And you're letting me get like way too many advantages this way. This would also be a problem later for him. But realistically, I can just come up this way. B7. Clamp. Well, no, but he can just... I mean, he can go down because I don't have this liberty filled here, though. But it might be because there might like you can come up and you can come up. He has to connect, and there's probably something in here. You're probably right about that. I think this is just safer, but that might have ultimately been better. See what he does with this. That wasn't good, actually. That was pretty poor. It was indeed pretty darn poor. A lot of these moves are just hard for him to deal with. Because I can come out in multiple ways. It's not a good move. I can just connect this way. You can't do anything here. The attack on the attack on this direction was obviously wrong for black. There's also not much over here. I'm going to go ahead and take this first. Actually, there's a problem with this. Well, not really, I guess. I can just connect here and go down that way. That's fine, actually. There's also this, but then he can come down this way. So if I want to do this, I have to connect this first. Because if I take these, actually no, there isn't, is there? What am I talking about? I already took those two. That's perfectly fine, actually. I'm just being stupid. Not really sure what that does. I mean, I can just, that confused me. I don't really know what that does. I don't actually think it does anything. He's still trapped with like two liberties there, so he can't actually do much. That's obvious oversight. Block. There's not much territory here in the first place, so I don't really care all that much. There's other things that are way bigger, like this probably. And then coming over this way, coming up. There is a co here, by the way. Oh, I don't think there is one anymore, but there was a co problem here. I have to connect this. He has to connect. Otherwise, I can go all the way across. This is cleaner, just to take, not to connect, just to take these two. I believe it's just cleaner. He still has to connect. Also, I don't think that's such a good idea because that gives me free reign to do moves like this. That might cause him problems later. That might cause him problems. I don't think there's any problem in here right now, but maybe later on. Maybe like if the liberties get tighter. Just gonna connect, make sure there's no problems. I didn't actually need to answer that, by the ways. Meh. I said you needed to connect this. If you go all the way across, he connects, you can kill this. This is not, that's not viable. And this just relies on reading practice, honestly.
You have won.
All right, let's go back and review this game. This mistake here is this mistake here is just reading practice, but I was winning before this, so let's go back and review the game. Oh, I didn't have this music on loop. Let's have this music on loop. Okay. So we have this. That's all fine. This, yes, this is the preferred move because it forces me up, and then I probably have to do something like that. I could double pincer here, but that would put a lot of pressure on this stone. Yes, it does devolve on fighting skill, but I mean, like, you just kind of have to, you sort of have to do. I think like that, the invasion of my invasion is probably the best counter move because there's an easy base. Because like, if I jump up, there's an easy base for you here, and it puts pressure on these two stones. So C4. Here, I mean, it does secure the corner. But like for black though, like when I do this though, black's optimal move is definitely here. Because both these two stones and this stone, they're not very strong. You just have to separate them. This is not a very strong shape. If he attacks you, would you respond though? I mean, you probably, if I was black, I'd probably just go ahead and do this. If I was black in this situation, I would probably just go M4 after you did C4. Yes, there is a lot of advantages to be taken here, but losing this stone is also like pretty bad for white though. I'm not exactly sure what you would do with this stone here, but letting him get M4 is also like letting him actually get M4 is also kind of crappy. When he G3. Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm kind of busy over the summer, so I did like 2 lessons last week, and I'm probably gonna do 1 or 2 this week. So yeah, but I mean overall though, like this particular shape isn't, to me, it's not all that great for white. This might be sort of weak, but it's not really extremely weak, and white has this group here, so I still think optimally black's attack is here, rather than play this and letting me come up. This is also like, this attack is just really annoying for white. Because if I don't want you to cross, then you can come up and attack these 3 stones. So remember, like, that's probably why this is better, because then it forces white to maybe attack here or something. So like, yeah, remember the three space jump always has a bottom line invasion, no matter like what this is, because the bottom line invasion basically threatens the connect, and if you try to block the connect, you can jump up. Now, white can try something like this, but this is not something that I would do. This is not something I would be willing to do right now. Letting you have this on top is just is too much influence for me. He just wants to defend. He can jump 002. That's true. Like, if you want to defend this territory, you can also do this. Now, this particular move, I might not actually respond for white. And in a handicap game, I probably would not respond for white. But it's better than this move, because this move doesn't really defend. You still have a P2 weakness. Whereas this move, you don't really have a P2 weakness. I mean, I guess I can do this, but this is still more secure than that. I probably should have just decreased this moyo here, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this, bump up this, come up here, go here. This particular move I probably wouldn't have answered for black. I would have gone somewhere else, maybe here, and maybe even here. Because, I mean, if white spends another stone to try to capture this stone, it's really not worth it for white right now, I don't think. And I think either here or definitely here is worth more. Come up, going to invade, that's fine. Jump. This is what the other person said in chat. Your direction is wrong. These 4 stones are not under threat, so you want to jump this way. If I continue to run out, I mean, even if you do something like this, I mean, I guess you wouldn't do that, but like, you generally want to threaten this way, not the other way around, because your points are over here. Because, like, just say if you did something like this and then you did this, there's a lot of potential for points over here. Because I can't really come out this way. You know, like, I can sort of do this, but then I have a bunch of weak groups myself as well. So that's why we both said your direction was wrong, because you want to force in the way where it would get you more, where you can actually profit from it. Since you came out this way, you're building the thickness over here, but I already have this over here, so it's much harder for you to make points, and you're giving up the potential you made up over here. So, like, which direction you go is very, very important. This is also a user move because I kind of have to respond here. Like, you're just letting me get way too many advantages here. Because this essentially blocks out, like, this particular move essentially blocks out this, like, when I do this, essentially blocks out this invasion. Because now you don't have a way to connect anymore. This, as the AI says, is a pretty good move overall, because it does secure more territory over here. So, like, when you're attacking an enemy, when you're attacking an enemy group, you have to be thinking about, how do I take advantage of this attack? Like, a group like this is very, very hard to kill. Maybe if I was playing against like a 9-Dan pro, he'd probably be able to kill me, maybe. But a group like this is very, very hard to kill against someone of similar strength or someone of like a greater strength, right? Like, even if you're playing someone of similar strength, a group like this is very, very hard to kill. So you have to think about, like, how do I get advantages and how do I make territory when I attack that group. So me playing here, like, if you do this, you might not be able to kill, like, and I do this, you might not be able to kill this group. Let's just say this happens. You might not be able to kill this group because this group is very hard to kill. But you have made some territory over here. So you've actually gained in attacking this group. In Go, it's not always about killing the group. It's about how much you can actually gain. It's about how much you can gain while attacking the group. Like, you can't attack a group, have very little chance of killing it, and not gain anything from it, because that's a surefire way to lose the game. So another reason you would do this is because it denies me eye shape. Like, when you come here and I go this way, I basically reduce whatever chance of territory you had over here, and plus I get kind of an eye shape here. This you didn't need to respond. I can't really do anything here. This game was 2 handicap, yes. It was handicap 2. This is always a move because if I play here, you can always play Ko. So like in this kind of shape, when I have this kind of shape and you have a kind of a shoulder move here, you always have this move. That's why me doing this move is very important. So I decided to go over here first and play this move. If you still want to attack this group, you do have to play this. I would actually just go for this myself and take this stone at this point, because that's a lot of territory on the bottom here. I'm more than willing to do this with you because that's a lot of territory I gain on the bottom, and it takes away any invasion opportunities that you have here. I should have done this immediately, but I just missed it. I jumped here. I jumped here to destroy territory here, but realistically, if I had just done this, then you don't really have any other choice to maybe do this, and then this territory would be gone anyways. How can I utilize the Ko? Oh, this Ko? I mean, White would just not want to fight this Ko. Like, there's very little chance White actually wants to fight this Ko, because the Ko is too big for White. So White would probably just let you have this stone on the bottom at this point. So you utilize this threat of a Ko to get this bottom stone for territory. See, like, moves like this, you're still trying to get this territory, but the thing is, there's just so little territory here to get. And yeah, like, this is the best move here, because, like, if you just try to keep on getting territory, there's just not that much territory to gain. I mean, there's a couple of points here, but White, it's very small because White still has this. And as the other guy said in chat, this might have been a better move, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't really that sure about this move. I think this would have worked fine. Yeah, like he's right. In this, I didn't read it out, but like B7 is a better move. It does get me more of White's territory, for sure. I just decided to go with the easier route, do that, and then come up this way. This is still, because this Ko is still here, this is a very, very big move, because it still threatens this group. Variation 1. Okay, you guys can see the variation 1 on how this works. So this would be very, very problematic. Like, this is me playing, so this variation comes from me playing B7 instead of A6. A6 is the safer move, but B7 is the better move. So you can see, like, this ends up being this, and then I can jump out here. This is a big problem for black. Variation 2 as well. This is also a pretty big problem for black. This is still the biggest move because it still does threaten this group down here. Defending here, like I said, the territory is very limited here. So I'm gonna go. These moves really aren't that. These moves aren't really that good. Definitely. Yeah, I should definitely do this. I think I brain farted. I should have definitely done this. This is a pretty complex trade in here. I don't really know how most people around 6Q would handle it. Maybe they would just do this. Not really sure. But that gives me this as well. I don't like this for White either way. So that was not a, this is not a, like, playing, this is not a good move. Just went ahead and did this. Then I invaded up here. You should definitely separate. You can still pressure and put pressure on my group down on my group over here. See, like, you're going in the wrong direction in attack, because this group is not weak. This group is much weaker. So you want to separate out the two weak groups. What you're doing here is separating out my weak group and my strong group, and you're basically letting me connect my weak stones together, which is generally not what you want to do. This is just this is a bad move altogether. I think this is just miscalculation. There might be something down here. I'm not sure. I don't think so though, because if I connect here, there might be something here. I don't think so though. No, that still wouldn't work. So you can just kill this. So it still wouldn't really work. But either way, let me take these 2 stones. This move doesn't make any sense because this stone isn't worth very much. And this doesn't get you anything because there's very little territory to be had here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Do this. This is obviously a mistake. If you want to play, you have to play here. This is really, really important now because this would actually net you. This would net you like these 2 stones down here. I could fight I can fight the Ko here, but it's not a Ko white wants to fight because if I lose this Ko, you kill all of this, so it's not worth it for white to fight. This remains the biggest move. Although this one I don't think is it's still pretty effective. So that's a key move there because you're creating a co-opportunity. That kind of shape a lot of times does result in a co. So this is one thing to actually notice. This gets rid of this opportunity. The rest of this is finishing up. It doesn't really matter all that much. After this co-opportunity is gone, then white has a very solid lead, and it's very hard to pull back. And this is just a mess up in calculation down here. So that's just something you have to read a little bit better. But yeah, this co-opportunity is pretty big, and also like which way you're attacking is very, very important when you're attacking. You have to think about like what your territorial gains are when you're attacking. If you can gain like 20-30 points while attacking a group without killing the group, that's mostly gonna, a lot of times that's gonna be enough for you to win. So you got to think about that. So I'm gonna play. I am gonna play one more game here. $4 to 14K. Anyone can. You know, I gotta like actually remember to monetize all these streams because I don't know why it's not default monetization, which kind of pisses me off because I actually do need that. 12Q. I'm gonna pass a couple times. So we're gonna get for handicap 7.
Pass.
I don't remember what the handicap was before. I don't remember these things too much.
Pass. Pass.
I did do a handicap 9.
Pass.
Hey man, always willing to help people to.
Pass.
I want to get more people to the Dan level on OGS because OGS has a serious lack of Dan level players. I end up playing the same people over and over and over again on OGS. I do end up playing the same people over and over again on OGS, just because they have a really bad lack of players. This is not a good move because there's still this, like, you leave C17 open. See, like, you leave C17 open here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this, I think, for the most part. You know what? I can still take the corner here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, I guess. That's not good. I'm going to just jump this out. I know you're protecting the corner here, but you need to come out on like f16. Because you're getting so little for giving up a lot here. Like I said, in high handicap games, I'm more than willing to trade territory for influence, or trade influence, give you influence for territory, because my bet is like you're not going to be able to use the influence that well. Influence actually gets to be a lot more valuable the higher you go up in rank, because you learn how to use it a lot better at like the higher you go up in rank, and you learn how to deal with invasions better. That is something you need to do. There's too many cuts here. The dig here. Yeah, I'm going to save that for later. I mean, like, realistically, I would have played N18. I definitely would have played N18 over M17. These are moves I wouldn't regularly do in a normal game. That's not a good move. I'm really kind of seeing like how he actually responds to these moves. M7 or M8? M7, M8's all the way up here. I mean, these are reduction moves, but you need to do a little bit more. These are reduction moves, but if you did M7 or M8, as black, I would be more than happy just to take this territory down here. You're building this territory here, but you can't really, it's hard for you to threaten my group because I can just live by taking this right now. So, like, I'm not going to respond to that. I am going to... actually, I'm just going to go ahead and dig right now. You could play, you could actually play N18 and force me up, but he's going to do that instead. Oh no, it's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind people asking. I mean, like that's the whole point of these streams is for people to ask questions. For beginners, you know, like it's kind of difficult sometimes to really visualize what like people at higher ranked players are doing, but. And there's certain concepts that we understand that you won't understand. It just takes time. Like, for instance, when white invades here, as black, I would not do this because this is too little territory. I would actually just try to surround white. I would definitely just try to surround white and try to kill white here. Or at least, like, try to pursue white. Because this is so little territory that you're surrounding with all these stones. Because if you think about it, you gave up the corner, you gave up a lot of the side, and you're getting maybe 15 points. So it's a very bad trade in terms of what black is getting for. And it's a very bad trade in terms of what black is actually getting for this. You probably want to block the other way here. So if you occupy an unoccupied space that is close to your stone, like h13, I mean, when you play these moves, you have to understand what these moves. You have to realize what these moves actually do. This one doesn't do anything right now. I mean, it might help these three in the middle a little bit, which is pretty important. But there's just other things of more urgency right now. Like, so if you take into account what's happening right now, White has two weak groups on the table. White has this group and this group that's weak. So I'm going to try to fix this one problem at a time. Okay, I'm going to try to just get Sente here. I don't mind giving him a couple of points if I can get this move. Because this move connects these stones. So I'm solving my problems one move at a time. I don't mind if he jumps here, because it doesn't really matter all that much. This is just forcing something that I know you're trying to make territory here, but you might be just giving up the territory here that you bought earlier. C7. Yes. I can push here and just come out this way. And C7 became a big problem. C7 becomes a big problem because he actually doesn't have a base down here. I'll play that later. I'm not too concerned with it right now, but yes, this is actually a bit of a problem. I need to take care of this first. See, like, if I was black, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't answer this. I would just try to surround white on the outside here and try to attack white, because this group is still fairly weak and it's surrounded by that's probably not a great move. This group is fairly weak and it's actually surrounded by black stones. See, this is giving me too much of an advantage because this is only 4 or 5 points here. Remember, Go is about just getting the most points. So right now, like, I've whittled down his advantage to pretty much 0 at this point. Let's go ahead and play this now. I've whittled down his advantage right now, pretty much. He still can cut these two off, which would be a big problem for me. And I have to actually take this stone sooner or later. I have to, like, do this sooner or later, for sure. So this is a big problem right here. It's actually a pretty big problem for me right here if he plays e15. And this doesn't really solve his problem. I mean, it sort of does, but not really. Okay, so if you've already played this, you probably just play f6. You would probably just play f7 instead. Capture C, but my gut is telling me you can capture c15. No, capturing c15 is fine. But it would still leave him with e16, so right now I believe e15 would be better. I still have two very weak groups. Like, this group is fairly weak, and this group is fairly weak here in the middle. He's got bigger problems right now, right here. I don't know if I can kill him. I think I could probably live how I was playing black. It'd be kind of tough because I would probably play G2 right now. And it would be a little challenging for white to kill, honestly. That's why, like, when I invaded the corner, I said he should block the other way. And this pretty much guarantees that I live, so I'm not that worried about it anymore. Pretty sure I'm alive here. Maybe not. Probably. Am I? No, I'm not actually. I'm not actually alive. No, I am, because I can just play this. He can play here, though, but I can connect. I think I'm alive here regardless. But will G13 work? White playing G13? No. G13's here. So here I'm gonna just retreat and connect these two. If I take this stone, then this whole group is alive. It's fine, I'm just gonna do that. See, I'm just gonna take this stone. Now this corner is alive. The thing is, like, someone that's 12Q in rank here probably doesn't understand like how much danger this is in, or how much danger this was in. Because there's a lot of moves that he could have ignored when I played them and just surrounded this group. So you can't. I don't actually know if I want to play this Ko. Yeah, this is an endgame shape. If Black wants to play, he has to play K18. This might not be the best choice for me though, because I'm a little bit concerned about the corner, but I'm fine. I think I'm fine. I didn't need to do that. I can just go somewhere else. Could have just gone somewhere else. Didn't need to connect that either. So I'm actually just going to come down this way to make sure this is dead. Thanks, man. Thanks for subscribing. I'm going to come down this way to make sure this is dead. I think this was dead anyways, but I wasn't 100% sure. He could play things like G2 or C2, which would make it a little bit harder. Oh, yes, this is very, very big. This is many, many points in here. But, you know, like, this is very big, and I think if I was in a really close game with someone of a really close game, I would actually come down. I would clamp this down because this is very large. But I need to make sure that this is dead. Because making sure that this is dead is more important to me. Like, none of these moves that he's playing is as big as as this move here. Well, the thing, gut instinct is fine, but it really gut instinct is fine, but it does really help to understand. It does really help to understand and have explanations for why stronger players do certain moves. It helps me too a lot when I'm trying to improve. That's I mean like when you get to like 1 or 2 Dan though, when you get into the Dan ranks, you're strong enough to actually utilize the AI for these things. Because like the AI is like complicated, but there are a lot of things you can learn from the AI just by doing like Kata Go reviews. When you're in the DDKs, it's really hard to understand what Kata Go is actually doing. I don't think you actually can when you're in the DDKs. But like as you move up in rank, there's different ways you can actually improve, and AI is definitely one of them. That would be good, but there's a double thing here. A10. Oh yeah. Yes, A10. Because there's a double threat to come over this way. I'm gonna do this first because he has to answer though. Like he can't like not answer this. I mean, I guess nah, you have to answer this. It's like when you play an AI lose, you try to make you don't try to make the AI's moves, because there's no human player that can ever really make the AI's moves. But like you look at where the AI's optimal, and you can learn some things in some circumstances. Like when I see the AI play, you should just block this. When I see the AI, when I see the AI like play like a certain moves, I see it gives me like the moves that follow on Kata Go, and I see like if I can see the reasoning behind it. Now, sometimes when I do that with Kata Go, it's the AI is making that move because it's looking 40 moves ahead. Those I generally don't pay attention to because I'll never be able to read out 40 moves ahead. That's not in the realm of possibility for me. But that's actually not in the realm of possibility for me. But in other circumstances, it doesn't really matter which way, I guess. Actually, this does. Actually, it doesn't matter too much. This does actually matter for me because he can play. He can play A13. If I block, he can play A15, and that might be pretty problematic for me if I did it that way. So if he knows how to play the sequence. Actually, no, because if he plays... No, because if I play A15, it's Sente. But if this wasn't Sente, I'd actually have a bit of a problem. Actually, yeah. Yeah, if A16 wasn't Sente, I'd have a bit of a problem. I'm going to go ahead and connect this. He can't do A13. Well, yes, but this is a ko. If he plays A13, it's a ko. That's why. If he plays A13, I play A14. But then he can just find a ko to fight, and this ko is too big for me because it kills this entire group. So I'm gonna have to do this right now. A lot of Go does come from familiarity, like how familiar are you with certain groups, and higher ranked players will just be more familiar with certain. Higher ranked players will just be a lot more familiar with certain shapes than lower ranked players. This he can play just F14. He can do that too, but he could have played F14 as well. No. You have to connect here. Like for a lot of shapes, like I just kind of know instinctively where to play, and he doesn't, and that's why I have a big advantage on him. I mean, like my reading's better too, but a lot of it's just like I like for that particular shape, I know where to play because I've seen it a lot before, and my overall feel for the game is a little better. T14. Oh yeah. Keep forgetting those things. Should I do this? Is this actually risky for me? Yeah, it is. Too risky for me. Forget it. I'll just do this then. This is also pretty decent, but yeah, I mean, just for teaching purposes, I'll do T14. T14. Would K11 work? I'll just go this way. Would K11 work? No, because I already have an I here. Fix the last possible problem fix here. Well, if you played K11, I would just play L11. I would have an I here and I would have an I here, so I would be alive. Yeah, if you've only been playing for that long, I wouldn't worry about it. It takes a long time to really understand the finer details of Go. It takes a long time to understand the finer details of Go and to move up in rank. Like this sequencing, you would play E16 first before you play E18. Because if you play E16, I can't play E18. So, like, you know, like, when it comes to endgame, it is like fine mechanics like that can win or lose you the game. If you just follow along with whatever I play, you're going to lose a lot of points. Rank? I mean, like, I'm 1 Dan here. I haven't really tried to move up all that much. So the ranks go up, like, it goes to, like, 1Q is the highest Q rank, and then after 1Q, it gets to, like, 1 Dan, 2 Dan, 3 Dan. And I think the highest person here is, like, 8 Dan. Now, I don't think the difference between 8 Dan and 1 Dan is, like, actually 7 stones. Like, my dad, when he was playing, he was 9 Dan on Fox, so he'd be pretty close to 8 Dan here, and the difference between me and him isn't 7 stones, it's more like 3 or 4. Probably around 4 right now. At least, like, that's when I was younger and we used to play handicap, that's the handicap he usually gave me, around like 3 or 4. But then again, I was probably better then than I am now, so. Yeah, it depends. Yeah. The thing about not playing a handicap, like the game ends too fast. the game ends way too fast. If you play me without a handicap, the game just ends too fast. Like, because when you just start playing, there's simple concepts you don't completely understand, and the game just doesn't last long enough for me to teach. Whereas, like, you know, in handicap games, I have to profit off your mistakes for me to actually win. So that's why I started doing handicap, because like in a handicap game, the other person actually has a chance to win. It makes for better content first. It does make for better content, first of all.
Remove the dead stones.
It does make for better content, first of all. But also, like, I think generally, like, unless they want to play even, it's also more fun for the other side.
You have won.
So let's actually go back and review this game. If my dad plays me without any handicap, he'll win by like 20 or 30 each time. I mean, if he's really trying, he'd probably win by more, but yeah. So with this kind of move, I have 2 weak stones. So you would want to separate them. Either by doing something like this, coming out this way, or just separate and attack somehow. Your 2 stones in the corner are stronger than my 2 right here. No problem, man. Always glad to play. So playing this is not to your advantage, because if I block, you leave the C17 here. With C17, yeah, I was playing Art of Dying. I don't know everyone's name on here, but like playing this and letting me block, it does leave C17, because with C17, you can't let me play D17, so you have to block D17, which gives me the free B15 move. So he plays here, I'm going to play here. This honestly, I think this is probably better. Or here you can just come out this way and attack this stone. I shouldn't have done that, actually. This stone's not big enough right now. I probably should have just done this or something. This is not a good move, because this puts this in Atari. You don't want to spend an extra stone to connect this. And then once you do this, like, you know, I can just leave it alone, because if I take this stone, I'm basically alive. So I'm going to come out here. This is always an option. And just so you know, this thing isn't here. This thing in here isn't necessarily alive. So the thing is, like, this group in here is actually still technically dead. I wouldn't do that right now because I'm too weak on the outside, but that group isn't. This particular shape isn't actually alive. But, you know, right now this won't work. Right now, for me, this isn't gonna work because you can just play F18. This is bad. Either just keep going here or play N18. Yeah, like that's what I said. You needed to go F18 before you kill him, because he can. If you do that right now, he can just play F18. So that's why I didn't play that right now, because I needed to F18. After F18, I can kill him, but I wasn't gonna do that right now. So that comes out this way. That's fine. But like I said, here you would definitely just extend. Either extend. It's a much more solid shape if you extend than if you jump. You would either extend or Hane. I would probably, if it were me, I'd probably extend. This you pretty much have to attack these stones. No, like there's a wedge. There's always a wedge here. This is you either you in this kind of shape. Like in most circumstances, you would want to extend or hane. I would probably extend just because it's a safer and more solid shape. So, what do you mean? What about a variation early game? I'm not exactly understanding that, but so when I play this, you probably want to like, you probably want to separate out the two. Like if I go here, you can always just retreat, right, and come out this way. So what happens here is, yes, you're giving up this side, but you get all the territory down here, and that's actually fairly advantageous for black. If I go this way, you can obviously just connect. So the thing is, like, if I want to disconnect you right now, I have to give up one of the two sides. And that's not advantageous to me. Especially in a handicap game. Because if I give you this many points, I'm not going to win. So once again, like, there is this invasion here. So you did this to kill that invasion. This is not a good move. Definitely not a good move, but I was just testing a response. I should probably just... Realistically, I would do something like this. Maybe even this. If I do this, there's a cut move, and I don't want to deal with this cut move. I don't like this result. It's no good. So extend here, come here. I'm gonna connect. Here you wouldn't play this. You would definitely come out. Your corner is pretty much safe, and you want an avenue to attack these two. And if you fail attacking these two, you can always connect this and try to attack this group. So you need to separate out my two weak groups. A lot of times in handicap games, like in high handicap games, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 6, 7, 8, 9, your opponent, the white's always going to be trying to invade in different places. And if you can separate his groups out, it's going to give him a lot of problems. If you just let him connect the groups, then he has much less problems. This is also always an option. But like you doing this kind of like cancels that option. So that's not a good move either because it gets rid of the cut. So this move, you did this. This is too few points, like I said. In this kind of situation, I don't exactly know. I don't actually know what the exact best attacking move is. But if I was black, I would definitely play something like this to try to surround. And white will have to try to make eyes in here, and he might be able to live in here, right? But while he's trying to live in here, you can actually strengthen your outside for this territory here. Because you doing this, like, you're basically saying, I want this territory. I'm willing to give you that territory because it's like 10 points. See, like, I'm pressuring you into making this territory where there's just not that many points. So I'm perfectly happy with this result. This was obviously just to cut this stone off. This giving me sente is no good. You need to keep all your sentes right now. This group you can't really threaten because as long as I play S5, it's alive. So I'm going to invade the corner. This, I think you made a mistake. I think you probably want to block this way. There's just more opportunity this way. This might be a problem later, but I don't think it'd be a problem right now. Yeah, this corner would be alive, but then now this group is going to be pretty weak. Blocking this way is like you're giving up the bigger side, in my opinion. There's just not many points over here for you to get. And obviously, this is going to cut you and give you problems. So, once again, you want to extend here. this is, I don't know how threatening this move actually is. I'm just going to play here. Black should not respond here. Black should not respond here. Black should just probably do this. Black should do something else. Black should do this. If I play here, then you can just cut here. And that would be extremely problematic for me. If I play here, then you can cut this group off. There's not much territory here, and I still have A10. And you letting me do this basically solves this problem as well. Once again, like a lot of these moves I wouldn't respond to. There's very few points in here. I would definitely be trying to attack this group. This group is still going to be under severe threat. There's not much eye shape in this group, and you have a lot of stones and thickness over here. I'm basically willing to do these moves in a handicap game because I'm pretty sure I know how you'll respond. Generally, I wouldn't actually do this move. I would just go ahead and do this in a regular game, because trying to destroy these points is not worth being surrounded here. Yeah, like the thing is like this move I might do just originally, but after this move, like once black does this, like as white, I would either Hane or come up here. Like the only reason I'm playing these moves is because I'm pretty sure I know how you'll respond. I know you're going to keep blocking, so that's why I decided to take advantage of this first. Otherwise, like against a player of similar strength, I would definitely just come out here or probably jump out here, because I would be much more concerned with the safety of this entire group and this group rather than destroying a couple of points in here. Because you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter how much I play in here. Playing in here is not going to increase my eye space. So if you do something like this, I'm in a lot of trouble. If you do something like this or something like this, I'm in a lot of trouble, regardless of how much I come in here. So like this is threatening my entire group. So yeah, it doesn't really matter how many points I kill in there. Hane out. You should really think about something like this. Because yes, you could jump out, but at least you're getting a couple points in here. And here I wouldn't really care about these points. I would probably just separate these two. Because remember, I still don't have much eye space here. And once you play a couple more moves here, if you cut this, then these two are just going to be dead. So there's a lot of problems that white has here that there's no way white can actually fix. I don't know if there's a way you can actually connect these two. I would definitely divide. Because once again, this group and this group are the weak ones. You want to divide these two groups. If you do that, you're at least getting those two stones down there. You might not be able to kill this, because I could take this and I'm alive here, but you would be able to kill those two stones down there. And that's still a lot of territory. Here you'd probably just want to do this. I'm pretty sure you can... I think you can probably live here. Or maybe something like this. I think you could probably live here. I'm not 100% sure. Because I think this is also... I'm pretty sure this is also Sente. I think you could probably live here. Pretty sure you could live here. I mean, this would just be alive, so pretty sure you can just live here. Letting me take these two is letting me take these two is a little bit problematic. You weren't confident in this corner here. Yeah, it's a little bit complex. I can see why. You know, the thing is, since you already did that, you might as well just, since you're already going that route, I would probably just do this. And just connect. There's really not that many points down here. Letting me extend out this way. I'm pretty sure this is still alive though, but this is no longer Sente. So if you do this, I can just do this. So here, you don't really need to do this. This is already cut off from this. There's no way I can connect these two groups, so you would just play here. You would definitely just play this. Unless you're really greedy and you want to kill the entire group, which I don't think is possible, because if you want to kill the entire group, you have to connect. This would actually be a fairly hard challenge for me to... This would actually be a fairly hard challenge for me to live here, though. Because I have maybe one eye down here, and that's about it. I don't know how I would actually live down here. I don't think I can. So if you want to kill this entire group, you basically have to connect this. Like, once again, still I would connect this. Because this group is dead. It's hard to make this group alive. So playing here, letting me do this, getting me the Sente, I'm going to obviously take this. Because once I take this, this is alive. This stone is key because it's not only this eye, it also makes this eye. So basically I have two eyes now. Yeah. So black can actually play down here and live. Because if this is a, well, I guess I still have this. It's at least, I think it's at least Ko. So yeah, like you would just play this and try to live down here. But in this kind of situation, like in this shape, you can't double Hane. You have to retreat. That's one of the end game. That's a big end game mistake. That some people make. So because like in any situation where this can result in Atari here on the second row, you can't do this because, you know, like, you saw how this played out, so you can't actually do that. So obviously when you do this, I'm going to come down here because that makes this group dead. Of course, I'm going to block this. This is very big as well. This is probably at least worth 6 or 7 points here, if not more. And the rest of this is like finishing up moves. It's not going to matter all that much. So, like, this exchange is pretty complex, but you gave up way too much here. And obviously, like, you know, the jumps when I invade the corner generally are not good. The jumps here are generally not good. And plus, like, when you're attacking my groups, you often attacked in the wrong direction. It's the same problem as it's the same problem as the person I played in the last game, but just to a more severe degree. You, like, in this game, like, you didn't focus on separating my two groups out. Whereas in the last game, it was just like he didn't attack in the right way to make territory. So, you know, the ways you attack are very, very important. And, you know, just like mistakes, just like corner mistakes and things like that. So it's a good game to review. You know, review with the AI if you need to. Kata Trainer sometimes is what I use to review games, and it could be helpful for anyone of like varying degrees of Go. So check that out if you have time. So that's going to be it for today. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. I will be back probably sometime this week, and I'll see you guys later.